Welcome back, everybody. Tuesday morning show, final half hour. Get you more info on the Landon's Light Volleyball invite that gets going later today out in West Fargo. You'll see all 4 matches live here on Extra. We'll give you the details on that before we wrap up. But we have our usual guest at 10:35. Steve Laqua joins us, head coach at Minnesota State University Moorhead. The Dragons are 2-0 for the first time in a decade after a 51-3 win at Southwest Minnesota State. His quarterback was named the NSIC Offensive Player of the Week. You got to be all smiles in the office today, right?
Well, we're probably smiles a couple days ago. We're already on the next one, so there's not a lot of smiling when you're looking ahead to the one we got. But definitely thinking back to Saturday, a lot of smiles. In the sense the guys came out, they played really well. They started fast like we wanted them to. We got a lot of guys in the game, which I've said it a lot of times in the past, but winning begets winning, and so. And you rest guys, you start to develop your next kind of line of players. I mean, we played Jack one half of football, So we got the second half, all more quarterback development. So overall, it was a great day for the Dragon football program.
I got to ask about going 2-0 and winning both on the road. That has not happened in recent years in Dragon football. Just describe the ability to go and take care of business in 2 spots that you needed to do that.
Well, I've learned over the years that no wins are easy wins. There's, everything is a battle, and everybody's competitors out there at this to be great. And so to go on the road and sitting on a bus for 4 hours, before you get off and play a game, or to drive 9.5 hours and be in a place that's loud and raucous and be down and be able to have some grittiness and some fortitude to come back. Like, those things are big. They're important. I really appreciate that our guys they work hard and they believe in each other. And so it's nice to have the late ride homes. They're after wins. Those are a lot more enjoyable. But that's nice for everybody.
Let's talk about your one of your tight ends. Gavin Lill got his first 2 receptions. Both were touchdowns. Can you describe this guy and being now one of the guys that Jack Strand looks for?
Yeah, somebody said we had a MSU, so that was good. Gavin's a tremendous player. We got him going, and I think he had 3 catches. The first one, he gets on the over route and kind of trucks the tackler and gets an extra 4 yards. And Gavin's a real physical player, and we schemed something up and we got a busted coverage, and you can see his speed. You can see why he was one of the top 100 meter runners in his senior year of high school. Now, that was probably about 40 pounds ago, but he still showed it and ran away from the DBs and scored. And so a couple touchdowns under his belt. He's a guy that's coming along nicely 2 games in, because he transitioned from running back in high school. We had him at wide receiver last year, and then through the spring, we transitioned him to tight end. So he's still a newbie figuring it out, and he's doing a great job.
When you have the conversation with Jack at halftime, is there any resistance? Hey, I want to stay in, or hey, you're done. We're good. We've got this. Can you take us into that conversation with your quarterback?
Well, he was good about it, in the sense of, if we got the stop, we were going to pull him out. We were on defense first. If we gave up a touchdown, we were going to keep him in. So he knew it was kind of an either way deal, but I think our guys see the big picture. And I talked about it at halftime. I said, it's important for the starters to come out and let's have a great first couple drives, because we owe it as a group to the rest of this team to not mess around, not lose focus, get this game taken care of so that all these other guys can get in the games. They work hard. Let's give them the opportunity to get game reps, to get better. And I thought our guys did a great job in business like that, of coming out and just taking care of it right out the gate. And we got a lot of great reps in the second half for a lot of guys that don't get to play a bunch.
You mentioned it's a nice victory ride back home. Describe that that's a place you and I talked about, I think, last week. Marshall hasn't always been kind to the Dragons, that to go in a spot where you haven't really had a lot of success and go and get a win.
No, SMSU's given us fits at home and on the road over the years, and there's been a lot of heartbreakers. And so to go in and to get it's special. I still appreciate it. It's not like because you win the last few against this team and maybe handily you take it for granted. Like, you know what? I think they're the only team that's got less scholarships than us in that NSIC, and so I can respect the challenges they that our guys are doing and they're developing. And so I think there's a lot of appreciation for what we're doing and for what the guys are buying into and working hard towards.
All right, so now it's the home opener. It has to feel like it's been forever since you played a football game in your own place. That's what happens when you have two consecutive games on the road. Describe now, there's different, I don't know if distractions is the right word. Coaches love to use that. But what surrounds playing at home that you don't have the challenges of when you go and play on the road?
Well, sometimes, as bad as being on the road and a bus trip is, it does force some silence, some quiet time where you don't have TV distraction. I get you've got phones and whatever, but it's a group time together. And so you don't get that as much because you go home for a while, then you come back in here. The nice thing, we play noon kickoff, so it's, hey, you're in, walk through, eat, and let's go. It's time after it. And so that's hopefully keeps the attention span on the game and not distracted. Obviously, we have a great traveling group of parents that come to all games, and so I don't know that there's a difference at home or the road. We travel well, so I don't think there's this added pressure. We got these extra people we have to impress. I think our guys are mostly looking at it. This is a team that took us to the woodshed and beat us 33-6 last year. This is in a game that we felt we underperformed, and they stuck it to us in all phases, and we've got to be a heck of a lot better because it was an embarrassing Saturday for us.
I was going to ask about that. Winona has always been kind of that bugaboo. They've just been team you haven't been able to get over the hump. What is it about them that's provided such a, outside of the fact they have really good players, that's been an issue for your team?
Well, they're a really good football program with a great tradition. I mean, they've been traditionally at the top of the NSIC. They've built a program that's been really solid, and so we've only gotten them 2 times, I think, since 2016. Our guys have understand that, hey, you know what, we've got, if we want to become a team that's respected consistently year in and year out, you've got to win these games. You can't be close. You can't say, oh, we've competed with them. Like, you have to start winning games that against teams that everybody views as better than you. And so those moments that we're gonna have to go out and prove that.
You gotta try and light up that new scoreboard you got. Describe that, of having that over there for fans to check out for the first time.
Yeah, I think it's an exciting, not just what's going to be there, but I think there's a lot of belief in our program, and to have donors step up and want to do that because we're doing on and off the field, I think is an awesome thing. And so that I'm excited about. I think that's going to be great. It's also nice when the play's done to be able to look over there and get a quick view of, hey, what really, especially if it's a potential challenge. I want to try and see that as fast as I can. And so there's some great advantages, hopefully, that we can get over the years from it.
You mentioned you got to play some guys. Pelican Rapids, Timmy Guler got in as your backup quarterback. What'd you see out of him for the first real game action that he got a chance to play on Saturday?
Well, we've always felt that Timmy's kind of a gamer, and he got in the game and he was balling. He did a great job. He made some plays with his legs. He made some great throws, to be honest. The first touchdown we had the play called, and I was like, "Ooh, this might not be what we should be going." I almost called a timeout, and then he had Callan Lucas up the pipe for a touchdown, and so shows what I know. I'm glad I didn't call the timeout. So that was exciting. He did a great job, and he managed the offense. He took care of the football. He's a guy that's doing a really good job, and I think he's got a bright future for us.
To have that is not necessarily a luxury, but it's okay. This is something we can work with. You've actually got it on tape. How big a deal is that?
Well, I think it's good. It adds a little bit different dimension. He's a guy that we've looked at using in different special packages. You have a little bit of a concern because, you want to make sure you have a backup quarterback that's healthy. You don't want to use them in too many wild situations that could get you in trouble. But he adds a different dynamic. He's got a little bit of a speed, a little bit of craftiness that catches people off guard for how he plays. Now, I had to give him a little bit of a hard time yesterday because it sounded like on the TV broadcast when he got into the game, the announcers, I think, were trying to compliment Jack and by saying that, wow, when Timmy gets in here, it really gives you an appreciation for how good Jack Strand is. So, I think Tim was kind of maybe little put off by that, so he's got a little more of a chip on his shoulder. So I think
if that's not a backhanded compliment, I don't know what is on that.
Yeah. Got a little fire lit under Timmy, which is good.
We described the Saturday was for the Laqua family. Your daughter had a monster game in volleyball as well, it sounded like, huh?
Yeah, that was awesome. It was her first full collegiate game that she played from start to finish, and and she did fabulous. And as a player that came as a walk on that's just been trying to scratch and get a chance and get an opportunity and then play really well in her second year and see that team succeed. They've struggled, and so to have them come out of the weekend with 4 wins, I think is super awesome. I was up in the press box trying to follow the game cast of it until it got to the 4th set. So I didn't get to see the 5th set, and I had to I just texted. I said, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but really proud of your resiliency and what you've been doing. And so luckily enough, we get down there, we finish warm-ups. I'm walking the team into the field house and there's about a 10-minute break. And then my parents come running by me because they're trying to get into the game. They were staying and listening to watching Leah play. And so they filled in on how the game went. And so it's nice to know that the Dragons got a win.
Were you able to talk with her after when you were done with the game, your game on Saturday night?
Yeah, I was able to give her a call while we were outside.
Awesome.
Guys were in the locker room. I left the locker room, got a call with her. She was with her teammates still. They were driving to go eat. And so it was kind of a special moment of, a successful evening where I think everybody's supporting each other, in the family. You want to see people succeed. And so she was glad that we succeeded. We definitely were glad she succeeded.
Before we go here, it looks like weather's going to be dynamite. Hope for a big crowd before the Bison play later so people can double dip and go see you guys play and then go up to the Dome if they want.
You can definitely double dip. It's going to be warm. I think it's 78, feels like temperature at kickoff, so noon. It's going to be awesome. I think for people that haven't maybe watched this, you'll see a lot of great local football players. And if you want to see guys that play inspired football and play, in a way that I think has an underdog mentality, it's pretty impressive. And if you just want to flat out watch good quarterback play, there's going to be some good quarterback play on, and it's an exciting thing to watch.
I know as a football coach, I know you're in the submarine, but last night, as the Vikings game's playing out, as a head coach, how difficult is it not to overreact when you're seeing your quarterback, like McCarthy struggled early on, and obviously KOC sticks with him, and we see what happened. But we're sitting and overreacting as fans to every single play. How difficult is it as a head coach to stay even keel, knowing he can make it? The plays will come.
Well, you rely on the body of work over the course of time, right? There's not one drive, one game that maybe makes the difference. If it's been proven over a course of mini camps, spring balls, fall camps, like you trust the data points that have been out there, and you've got to have the wherewithal to kind of ride out the storm. This is a game of ups and downs, and there's variance that plays out. And so I think, that as a coach, Gus Bradley would always say, never too high, never too low. It's never as good as you think, never as bad as you think. And that's something I've tried to take with me in life and in football. And I think our guys probably roll their eyes every time I say that to them, but I think it's really important. And I think, that's how you get sustained success. You come in on Monday and it shouldn't feel different if you won or lost. Let's evaluate the game. Let's make changes. Let's go. Hey, we're not going to get a stop every drive, so let's not fall apart if we don't. We're not going to score every drive. Let's just understand it's going to take the steady, just keep chipping away at life, and you'll be fine.
All right, Lat, most important question we save for end, because as you know, there's some some chatter this week. The Bison are wearing white uniforms. I don't know how you feel about that as a North Dakota State alum.
Well, as an alum, there's been some different looks that were not what back in the day what we had. Our biggest controversy was we were going from the older like goldish helmets to the yellow helmets, and that was terrible. And I couldn't figure out why that was such a big deal by the old crotchety alumni. And so now that I'm in that space, I don't know that I can really put up. I'm like, hey, you know what? I didn't like it back then, that they didn't like it, so I don't want to be one of those like, well, it's not the way we did it. Let's go with it. And you know what? It's about the products on the field, not really what they're wearing. And so,
okay, well then I got to ask, what are you wearing this weekend though? What are the Drags doing this weekend?
Well, we are. What are we? We are red tops with, I think it's white bottoms.
Okay.
Yeah, it's white bottoms, red on white, I believe. I'd have to double check that. No, it's red on red.
Oh,
red,
okay.
My fault.
All right. That's good luck. Congrats on the great start. Thanks as always for the time. Good luck on Saturday, okay?
Hey, you bet. Sounds great.
Good to see you, bud. There you go. Steve Laqua joins us each and every Tuesday. Dragons have had a great start to the year. Pulled one out of the fire to start on the road at Northern Michigan. Dominated against Southwest. Think about this. That Strand was named the NSIC Offensive Player of the Week, and he played one half. One half. That's efficient. You could say, Southwest is bad. Let's just say it. We'll call it like it is. They're bad. But Strand in the game, 22 of 34, 319 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. On the season, and this is something we have to keep our eyes on here. This is his first 2 games. 57 of 82, 69% completion percentage. He's thrown for 655 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 3 picks. That's what he's done in the first 2 games. First game and a half, because he didn't even play the second half. I think we have to get it through our thick skulls here. The kid has an outstanding chance to win the Harlan Hill, which goes to the best player in Division II. And he's playing right across the river. I don't think it's been discussed enough. And maybe when we get to October and he's still putting up crazy stats, people are going to be like, oh, the Dragons quarterback's pretty good. Yeah, we've been talking about it for 2 years. Fun stuff to watch. All right, we'll break. We come back. We'll wrap things up. Get you ready. We got a busy Sports Tuesday on tap. We'll do that when Hot Mike concludes on this Tuesday after this.